Hey everybody, Adam Savage here in my cave with a couple of show and tells that recently arrived and are near and dear to my heart. This first one, in some fancy Egyptian looking wrapping, comes from my friend Indy Magnoli at Magnoli Clothiers. Magnoli Clothiers has been at the forefront of a bunch of the Ghostbusters costuming. They make a very, very reasonable jumpsuit. They make a couple of different versions, including the original ripstop cotton. And Indy sent this to me unasked. I didn't realize he was doing it. But what he sent me was the poster from Ghostbusters Afterlife. This is the papyrus Egyptian map of the mine that we can see in Ghostbusters Afterlife. Dude, this is freaking gorgeous. Let me get some weight on here. Let me just put a pocket watch. That's very appropriate. Put a little knife down there. He included a letter, and I just want to point out that even his letters have a feeling of ye olde Indiana Jones era, from the slightly mid-century to early 20th century design, to the typewritten note, to the signature. He says, knowing your love for Ghostbusters franchise, we thought it was about time to send you one of our Gozer maps. Reebok used a print of this map as the internal paper wrap on their Ghostbusters Ghost Smasher sneakers. And Indy cleaned up a scan and, using AI tech, increased the resolution to a printable quality. That in and of itself is amazing. They found a maker of genuine papyrus in Egypt and got them to do a custom run of larger sheets to print the map in brown ink. Okay. To export these from Cairo, we had to pay an antiquities expert. This is freaking awesome. To inspect the consignment and ensure these were not genuine artifacts because they looked that good. Once in New Zealand, the papyri are rough cut by hand using our template to ensure accuracy and consistency, so every bit of edge detailing is accurate to the original, and then aged it using a craft knife and our favorite dirty coffee mixture. I must tell you that it is a refined amount of weathering. Usually people go a little too far with that, but Indy did not. We hope you enjoy adding this little bit of Ghostbusters fandom to your collection. Dude, this is amazing. I need to keep this with this because it is such an artifact in and of itself. But this is gorgeous. And this is something I love about fandom, is that fans are going to fan. They're going to find the way to celebrate the franchise, whether or not the franchise willingly lets them in. It's much better if the franchise willingly lets them in, and there are a bunch of franchises that are great about how they deal with the fans, and this is really lovely. I love the amount of detective work, and I love the idea that it looks so good you had to get an antiquities expert to get it out of Egypt. This is really, really, really lovely. Up close, it's just gorgeous. Yeah. An incredible addition to anybody's Ghostbusters Afterlife prop collection. We're going to wrap this back up because I have a second poster to show you. And this one has its lineage going way back, like 15 years almost. So, like you, I'm totally obsessed with Lord of the Rings. Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King. I watched them all when they were released. I have watched them all dozens of times since. I've watched all of the extended editions multiple times. I have watched all of the behind-the-scenes footage. Let's just say I'm a deep super fan of Lord of the Rings. And a bunch of years, I like projects that allow me a lot of time to sort of dive into minutia. And one of the early prop collecting dives I did was a comprehensive map of Middle-earth at the end of the Third Age, which is the age that encompasses the Lord of the Rings films. And I went and did a digital map I did a digital version of the map of Middle-earth at the end of the Third Age. I spent months and months and months on airplanes in Photoshop, just slowly going through, copying and pasting trees to do Mirkwood Forest, copying and pasting mountains and adjusting them to look random to do the surrounding mountains around Mordor. It took a tremendous amount of time. Looking at it now, it is just fine. It's accurate in terms of all the information it has. I might do some things differently now, but it is an artifact of a specific time. And this is Brad Neckel, K-N-E-C-K-L-E. Brad Neckel, one of my fellow RPFers, reached out and was like, I just did a weathered run of your original Lord of the Rings map, and I would like to send you one. And I said, by all means, please. And he signed it. Print by Brad Neckel, run number 1. This is 2 of 10, 2023. I love that he included slip knots for unwrapping it. That is really, thank you for thinking of future me. And oh, yeah, I think I should get, 1, 2, 3 blocks. That'll do it. Oh, this is substantial. I think I'm going to bring this down. Yep. There you go. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's been so long since I've seen all of this. Dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, hello, old friend. What a lovely thing. So when I finished this poster, I put the file up onto the RPF so that people could print their own. And a lot of people have. That file disappears every now and then. Somebody reposts it. I've reposted it more than once. Graphically, it's interesting. I can see some scale things that I might do differently next time, if I did something like this. But I really did work hard to take every map I could find of Middle-earth at the end of the Third Age and put that detail into this digital file. So it also includes it includes some paths and story bits from all 3 movies. You got Hobbiton up here, Gondor. This is just fabulous. I also, out there in the world are 2 hand-drawn by me versions of this map. I don't even know who owns those anymore, but there are 2 hand-drawn Middle-earth maps drawn by me out somewhere out living their best life. But dude, Brad, this is so lovely. An ant. It's raining in San Francisco, so everyone is meeting the ants that live in their house because the ants don't like rain and they come inside. I just had one crawling across Middle-earth. This is so lovely. And frankly, the weathering is really gorgeous. This kind of weathering is not easy to do. It's not easy to make it feel as random as real old paper can feel. And Brad's done an exemplary job. Oh, my lake stuff. I believe I even did this as an Illustrator file. And then I did I think I even did that. And I don't even know how to use Illustrator. I used Illustrator professionally for 2 whole years, and I still have no idea how to use Illustrator. But I know I used it for this shoreline stuff. And this actually, this has a callback for me, which is one of the first, I think it's the first. I get asked a lot, what's the first prop replica you made? And what's the first prop replica you made? And I like to bring up the fact that I took one of my dad's old briefcases and turned it into a detonation box from Mission Impossible, the original series with Peter Graves. But I don't think that was my first prop replica, because before that, I was making maps using grocery bags and opening them up and burning the edges and drawing maps. And I really particularly loved drawing multiple lines around the shoreline, specifically because for a young person whose line wasn't very good, drawing repeated lines around the shoreline was actually sort of a high yield, low effort way of making a drawing look better than it was for me. I could follow a line and I could get close enough so that the shoreline ended up looking kind of neat. So I was following that. This has a direct lineage to like 6-year-old me making stuff out of old shopping bags. Oh man, It is lovely to see all this. Oh my God, so many memories of sitting there copying and pasting. My consistency on the size of the type is totally all over the place, and yet the print fidelity here is lovely. So yeah, 2 lovely maps. If only I had more horizontal wall space in my life, but I do not. These will go into the database for the flat art that I have. And at some point, I will hang these on display. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Indy Magnoli. Thank you, Brad Neckel, for these 2 beautiful maps. Thank you guys for watching this show and tell, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, Adam Savage from Tested here. If you've ever seen the 6-inch ruler in inches and centimeters on my forearm and wanted one of your own, but you didn't want it to be permanent, well, today's your lucky day. You can now buy temporary tattoos of my measuring stick, my measuring forearm, at tested-store.com. Comes like this, goes on in about 30 seconds with a little water. The instructions are on the back. It comes off with rubbing alcohol, and hopefully it warms you up to the idea of permanently attaching a measuring device to your body, because I use mine every single day.